Hi everyone, welcome to the channel. If you're new here, my name is Steph, and if you're not new, thanks for coming back. In today's video, we are tackling my children's bedroom, which was my only goal for this week, and I am so proud of myself that it is now Thursday and I have managed to achieve this goal, especially with everything else that I've got on this week, which is quite a busy week. So yeah, this section of the video was filmed yesterday on Wednesday and I was doing it in between studying. So what I've done on this video is slightly different, is I've actually put some timestamps kind of. So after 30 minutes I take a break, and so I tell you when it's been 30 minutes and I'm taking a break, and then I come back and I do another 50 minutes, and then that's me like done for the day, because that was all I managed to do that day. And then today I've done another 50 minutes, and so I tell you that as well. So this took like 2 hours and 10 minutes to do this room, which is quite a long time, but it has been a while since I did this room. In fact, the last time I actually did this room was when I reorganized this room, and I'll try and figure out how to link that video on screen, so if you want to go and check that out afterwards you can, because this room didn't used to look like this. But anyway, it's been a while since I did it. The kids were really good at keeping on top of it when I first did it, but then I cleared out our toy den, which was downstairs, and converted that into an office, which meant that all the toys that we were keeping from there came up into the room, and I just kind of put them in here. I didn't really find a place for them because I didn't have the time at the time. And then we had a Halloween party which involved other children coming and playing, and so the room just got too overwhelming for the kids to sort out. And then it's been Lily's birthday, so she has new toys and things, so the plan was I need to organise this room so we can get all the birthday things put away so we can get our Christmas decorations out. So on the day I'm doing this voiceover, it is the day that I'm releasing the video. I do tend to do voiceovers on the day that I release the video, and I do this room in stages. So as you can see, I am clearing one section of the floor and then I'm sweeping that section. For Arthur's birthday, I got him, like, I made him a sweetie hamper, and it had like straw in the basket, and somehow that basket of straw has ended up in this room, and there was straw everywhere. Now let me tell you, I am never ever ever buying a homemade hamper with straw in it ever again, because that was so frustrating. It was in the toy boxes, it was all over the floor, it kept sticking to my clothes and my feet, and it was just, oh, it was horrible. I hated it. So I'm not ever doing that again. Anyway, the initial stage of this clean, my goal is to just clear the floor and put all the toys together, all of the dirty washing together, all of the rubbish together, and then there's a couple of bags of clothes that were donated to us from a friend of mine who has a daughter who's a little bit older than Lily, and I'm really grateful to this friend because I'm a big fan of secondhand clothing. It's better for the environment, it's better economically for us, and the clothes that we get are always really nice clothes. So every year we get a bag of clothes off my friend, and this year I didn't have time to go through them at the time, and so they just got put in this room. And then that also contributed to the mess because Lily started going through the bag herself because she was really excited, and so I do need to sort them out. So yeah, the first stage is put all the like items together, including all the hair accessories. Lily has so many bows. If anybody has any innovative ways of storing hair bows, please let me know, because at the moment I just kind of clip them to the bags. I was thinking of maybe getting like ribbon and tying it around the door, and then I can clip them to the ribbon, but I don't know, I would like to hear other ideas, because I am definitely open to them, because she has so many hair bows, and I'm not going to declutter them because she does wear them. Sometimes she'll have like 6 or 7 bows in her hair at a time. She really loves her hair bows. Anyway, over in that corner, that is the dirty washing or items that need to go downstairs. And then yeah, you see all this straw, so annoying. So take a breath. I'm trying to get this voiceover done before everybody comes home from school in like 25 minutes, but I realised that talking faster doesn't make the video go any faster, so I don't know why I'm talking so fast. Also, hopefully the subtitles keep up with me because I just simply do not have time to write my own captions, so they are auto-generated. If I ever say something and you don't know what I'm saying, please just comment and I'll try and let you know what I'm saying. Sometimes I get comments like months later on a video saying, oh, what was it that you said there? Or what was that book you were talking about? And I have no idea. Like, it was months ago that I released that video, and I talk so much rubbish that it's hard to keep track. Sometimes I have to go back and read the transcript to try and figure out the context of the question that they're asking me. Anyway, so they do have a washing basket in this room, but as you can see, it's full, and so then washing ends up on the floor because I'm just not great at keeping up with washing. And speaking of, I had a dream last night that I had so much washing, like bags and bags and bags and bags of it, that I went back in time 2 months and asked my dad to help us get ahead of the washing so that by the time it got to the present time, we wouldn't have as much washing. Now, that is just messed up on so many levels. I have not spoken to my dad in 5 years, I want to say nearly 5 years. So that wouldn't happen. He is an addict and we just don't have any sort of relationship. And also time travel. Like, if I could go back in time to get washing done, that is absolutely what I would use time travel for, because I always said I would love to have like a watch to stop time so that I could like nap or get stuff done. Or like if I could clone myself, that would be even better. Anyway, these clothes that I'm going through, they're mostly the brand new clothes from my friends. So I'm just kind of putting them separately because the goal is put everything together. Then I'm going to declutter Lily's clothes. Then I'm going to put away the new clothes. And then I'm going to organise the toys. I don't fully declutter the toys because it really hasn't been that long since I did it. And even though it looks like they have a lot of toys, I'll kind of explain as I'm going that it's not as much as it looks. They have like one basket of toys each and then a basket of dressing up stuff, and then they have like their toy kitchen and the baby doll stuff, which just makes it seem like a lot, but in the grand scheme of things, like one basket of toys each is not that many toys. Anyway, also I was doing a free clean this week on Tuesday, and it's for a woman who has ADHD and autism and like mental health issues and a child with autism, but her child keeps destroying her furniture, and so she's just bought these. It's like a metal frame with fabric boxes. So it's kind of like the cubes that I'm using in this room already for Kai, but it's so much nicer and better. And so I'm going to get her to send me the link because you'll see when I'm sorting out Lily's clothes, but her mom drawers have just kind of reached their life limit, I think. And so I want to replace them. And I was thinking of getting the Calyx cubes. However, I really like the drawers that this woman has. And so I'm going to buy them instead, and I might even replace Kai's cubes with them as well and give Madison the cubes and get rid of her mom drawers, because as much as I like mom drawers because they fit so much, they are so big and so bulky and they're not really that accessible for young children. And yeah, so I am going to do that in the new year. I think I'll probably do it before the new year because as soon as I have an idea in my head, I want to do it. Anyway, I do not like going under beds. It makes me feel really claustrophobic, and so I use like whatever is at hand to get the stuff out, which is usually this toy broom. And so I got out everything from under the bed apart from the Lego bag that gets kept under there and the foosball table, which is like a mini one that gets kept under there. So that's all that's under there now. And I'm just kind of putting everything away that I found under there. And then this is kind of like the last section before I move on to the clothes, I think. I also do not make up the beds in this video. I've just finished the room before starting this voiceover. Like I finished it and then quickly edited the video, and then now I'm doing the voiceover. My husband will do the beds because I'm so done for today. Like I haven't done much today. I've only done 50 minutes of housework, but that's like that's absolutely my limit today. And I still have an assignment due tomorrow that I've been working on this morning and most of yesterday and the night before. So I'm making progress and I'm going to get there. Anyway, so now on to sorting out Lily's clothes. Lily is an average sized child, which is really good for me because it means as she goes up a year, I can literally just get rid of everything that's 4 to 5 and then keep anything that's 5 to 6. With the football kits that you just see me put straight back into the drawer, that's because they don't have typical ages on them. I don't know what fits and what doesn't. I tend to leave anything like that to my husband because he's the one that deals with like football shoes and football activities. Lily has been playing football since she was 2 years old. She's really quite good at it, but since starting school, like she was doing like 3 classes a week, but since starting school, she has less interest. But I don't think it's because she started school. I think it's because the age that they're at now, it's getting quite physical, and she's quite a timid girl, so when all the like boys and stuff are like grabbing at each other when they're playing, she's doesn't like that, and so she's getting too timid to go. Oh, there's the phone notification. She's getting too timid to go after the ball because she's scared of getting hurt. So we're thinking we might pull her from football, at least until like she's a little bit older, and instead see if there's other activities that she's interested in, and just she can just play football for fun. Like she's got her little mat that she just got for her birthday that she can do to practice her skills, and obviously my husband and other children will play football with her outside and things. So we're just going to keep it as something fun that she enjoys doing, but maybe get her into another extracurricular activity like gymnastics or dancing to try and build up her like confidence and things. And then if she wants to return to football later, she can. But yeah, I think the 3 classes a week was just a bit much for her. We'd already kind of dropped it down to 2 classes once we introduced swimming classes. But yeah, so that's kind of where we're at with the football. But she still loves football. She's just quite reluctant to go to the classes now. So yeah, that's kind of where we're at with that. There was more that I wanted to tell you guys. Honestly, I have so many conversations with yous in my head that when it comes to telling you everything that I'm thinking, I then forget. There was some really nice clothes in these bags. That's one of the things that I like about getting clothes for my friend is they have really good taste, and like some of the characters and stuff that the little girl likes is the same as characters that Lily likes, and she's quite girly as well, and Lily is so girly when it comes to her dress style. Most of the time, even in this like winter, she just likes wearing dresses with leggings or shorts underneath. So by the time I finish this voiceover, everybody will be coming home from school. The end of this video might see Xander barking a little bit if people are going past my house because I live quite near a school. Hopefully that's not the case. He seems pretty tired out from all his walks today. If you are new here, I probably should say Lily is my 5-year-old. Arthur, who I mentioned earlier, is my older son who is 13. I have another child, Madison, who is 14, and then I have Kai, my younger son, who is 9, and then Xander is my dog, who is a miniature poodle, and he is 3. And then I'm also married to my husband, Pete, and the 6 of us, well, 7 including Xander, all live in our 4-bedroom house in Scotland. And I've had questions about my accent. So I am originally from England, the northeast of England, from a town that is near Newcastle, and I have lived in Scotland since the day after I turned 18. Now that's a whole story on its own, which I'm not going to get into today, but yeah, I moved here the day after I turned 18, but before that I also lived here for a few years when I was younger. And just while we're on the topic of accents, so when I was younger I did have a full Scottish accent. And then when I moved back down to England, I was, for some reason, I don't know why, but for some reason I was really afraid that I would get bullied for my accent. And so for the first year of me living back in England at school, I was mute. Like I did not speak to anybody. Not even the teacher. I would just like raise my hand at registration when they asked if I was here. I'd just put my hand up. And then it wasn't until another new girl started the class and all the attention kind of moved to her that I actually started speaking, because I thought the attention would be off of me by that point, which is funny how our brains work. But yeah, and so I don't know if it's because I didn't really speak much for that entire year, or it was just as I grew older, but obviously I lost the accent. But I never fully got that like Geordie twang. And then the longer that I've lived in Scotland, the softer my English accent has gotten. So yeah, that's why I don't really, sometimes I have a bit of a Geordie accent, sometimes I say Scottish words, and sometimes I just have a very mixed accent, and that is why. I don't know if I've ever actually explained that story on the channel before. If I have and you've heard it before, you'll already know that I repeat myself a lot. And if you haven't heard it before, then there you go, something new about me. So that was everything that I did yesterday. So that was about an hour and 20 minutes altogether. It still looks really messy. And then this is today, and I'm still in my jammies because, first of all, I don't actually sleep in these jammies because I get too hot. I usually sleep in like an oversized t-shirt or something. So when you see me like wearing jammies like in consecutive days and stuff, I'm only wearing them like to walk about the house. I'm not doing anything. Like I'm not sleeping in them and then wearing them for days kind of thing. And even if I was, that's none of your business, but I'm not. Anyway, so I have no plans to leave my house today. I had a lie-in this morning, and then I spent a couple of hours working on my assignment, and then to take a break from that, I came and did some of the bedroom. My original plan was just to do a little bit of the bedroom and then go back and do some more of my work, but once I started, like, I'm feeling quite sore today, and so I knew that if I stopped I wouldn't get it done, and I really wanted to get the video out today, so I just pushed through. And then this is probably physically all I'm going to do today, and then the rest of the day I'm probably just going to work more on my assignment. Apart from, I will have to do the kids' bath and bed tonight because Pete will be at a Pokemon thing that he goes to. We're a big Pokemon household. That's like his main hobby. So yeah, so I didn't go through all of the clothes yesterday. I kind of reached my limit with bending over and stuff, and then that's why I left these ones to do today. And so then I just came in and finished sorting through these clothes, and then that's when I start sorting through all the toys. And then what you don't see, because I don't actually record it, is I do bring up some of Lily's birthday things and put them away because she got some new clothes for her birthday. She got a couple of toys, not really very many toys. We focused more on like activities and craft items rather than physically toys, because even though she's only 5 and she does play with some of the toys that she's got, but she doesn't really, like, she likes to play with people, or if she's playing independently, it does tend to be like crafting that she does. So that's why a lot of the toys like here are like the baby items and the toy kitchen and the dressing up items, and she only has this small basket for actual toys. It's because a lot of her play is either imaginative play or she's playing like with other people. I don't know what that's called, communal playing maybe, I have no idea. But anyway, so that's why she didn't really get many toys for her birthday. So all I'm doing to sort out the toys is I'm going through each basket because they're all muddled up and things, and I'm just sorting them into categories. So the categories I have are things that belong with the toy kitchen, things that don't belong with the toys at all, Kai's toys, Lily's toys, dressing up toys, and then like the actual baby items. And then once I have sorted all them out, I will empty this basket because there is straw in the basket as well. The bloody straw. That's what I'm going to title this video. I hate straw. Anyway, so I empty that out of there, and then also there's a category for teddies which need put away. So then this basket is for all of Lily's toys, and so I will put them back in there and just kind of do that for each basket. So when I decluttered these toys the last time, she originally had 2 toy baskets. One was filled with teddies and one was filled with toys, but we have the teddy storage now in the corner on the wall. And so I managed to declutter one of the baskets. However, it never made it out of the house, and Lily brought it back into the room. So that's why there's an extra toy basket in here. But we do manage to get it out of the room again. And I'm hoping once everybody does come home, I can get my husband to go and take the things to the donation. I didn't really have much to do for that basket there that I just did. That was Kai's basket, and apart from like the top layer of stuff, everything in it was already his. And this is the basket that made it back into the room, and the stuff in it already has homes, so this basket is not needed. So we do manage to get this back out. But yeah, hopefully this can get donated today, as long as Lily doesn't get upset about it. Because honestly, there's not like a whole lot of space in this room, because I do want to try and keep the floor as open as possible so that the kids actually have space to play. Because now that they don't have this play den, and they don't really bring toys downstairs. Downstairs is more for they play on their tech, or they play board games, or they do crafting. Whereas if they're playing with actual physical toys, that does tend to be up in their room, so they do need that little space to play. So again, just doing the same categories, taking everything out of this basket and then putting it to the side to get donated. And then I move on to, so when I was kind of trying to put all the toys together, I was just chucking things over there. This toy trolley that will also get donated. You'll see when I'm sorting out the kitchen stuff that I only really keep the wooden food, and I just get rid of all the plastic food because it's annoying, there's too much of it, it's unnecessary, and the wooden food is a lot nicer quality and is a lot nicer. Whereas that trolley full of plastic food items, that could if that goes to like a charity shop or something, then that means somebody who might not have been able to buy that brand new can get that secondhand for their children's Christmas. So this basket is their dressing up stuff. This is one that I do need to declutter, but I always find that if you try to tidy and declutter and clean all at once, it just becomes too big of a task. And so that's why I was trying to break it down into steps. So I don't really do any cleaning in this room apart from sweeping the floor. And I don't do very much decluttering apart from the odd item here and there. And like that toy horsey, for example, that doesn't get played with, so that's getting decluttered. And then on another day, I will come back in here probably before Christmas, because a lot of people declutter after Christmas. But if you think about it, it's better to declutter before Christmas, because those items that you're decluttering, somebody else could buy for their children's Christmas. So anyway, so I'm probably going to try and do more decluttering before Christmas in this room, because the dressing up stuff, there's quite a range of things in there. Usually if they grow out of something, I don't immediately donate it, because we have children of all ages coming here to play. But I do think that anything younger than Lily's age can now go. And there are items in there that just don't get played with. So on that day, all I really decluttered out of the dressing up basket was Lily's Halloween costume from like 2 years ago, because it 100% does not fit anymore. So the final like tidying thing when it comes to the toys that I wanted to sort out was this toy kitchen. Now this toy kitchen really does need a good clean, but like I said, that was not my goal for today. The goal was just to organize everything so that I can see what is still needing done, kind of thing. So she has quite a few sets with this toy kitchen. So she has like the wooden cake set, which is that blue 2-tiered stand. She has the yellow birthday cake. She has a pizza, and she has an ice cream set. And then the only thing that's not wooden really is the teapot and plastic cups, but they're also a set. So I'm just kind of putting sets together and then putting all the plastic food into the toy trolley, which I didn't realise is actually off camera. I should have angled the camera slightly more to the right, but anyway, that's off camera. And so I put the stuff in there, and then there are some like utensils and like pots there that are metal that I do mostly get rid of, because she has a little box, which you'll see in a minute, which is inside the oven of the kitchen, and that box is supposed to be for the things that are not in sets, like the wooden food and the utensils and things. So I only keep what fits in that box, which if you are struggling to declutter, that is always a good method. If you already have boxes and containers, only keep what fits in those boxes and containers. Don't buy more containers to fit your stuff if you are trying to declutter. If you're trying to organize, then yes, feel free, buy more containers to help organize your things. But I do find that sometimes if you have the extra space and the extra containers, you just end up filling them up, which is one of the reasons that I decluttered the Kallax unit in my kitchen. Because originally, if you are new here, I had a 5x5 cube Kallax unit. Sorry, I'm gonna mute my phone. Madison somehow always tries to phone me when I'm doing a voiceover. I don't know how she manages it. Anyway, so I did have a 5x5 Kallax unit in my kitchen, and I was finding that I was just putting more and more stuff in there. It was getting out of control. It was making me feel overwhelmed. And so I did decide just to downgrade so that I had less storage space. So then I was forced to declutter, and that has worked really well for me. The final part of this video is just me clearing this windowsill. The magnetic tiles that I have, I couldn't find the bag for them, so I just end up putting them in the Lego bag under the bed. And then that is pretty much the end of the video. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope everybody is well, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!